Go ahead.
Andre Batista, 95.5 FM. Question for Dwight Yorke. Dwight Yorke, tomorrow's game is the performance as against the result. Which one is more important?
I look at both. I would say both are very important. As everyone knows, when you come off a defeat, you're looking for a response from your players as well as a performance. We spoke about it in details. We have some work to be done, and I'm sure the players will be up for it. I'm very confident with my players. It will be another test for us. We're playing against a team also coming off a defeat, and we know the importance of this game, and a positive result for us will put us with a chance of trying to qualify for the next group stage.
Peter Warren, Houston Chronicle. Coach Yorke, you mentioned the response there. What type of response do you hope to see from the team, and how will you know when they've responded the way you want to?
Well, it'll be down to the reaction. We know that what Haiti is going to be bringing to the table, they're going to be aggressive. They will see an opportunity as well, just like us, to try and win a football matches. But at the end of the day, you have to perform. You have to show a desire, a certain willingness to win football matches, and that is what I'm expecting of my players tomorrow, to react on the basis of those points I've just delivered to you.
Further questions?
Good day, Adam Bartholomew, freelancer. 2 questions. First one for Mr. Levi Garcia. Firstly, congratulations on your wedding. How has it been for you reintegrating into the team after your brief time away, and how are you feeling about the game tomorrow?
Thank you. It's been great. Had a warm welcome back to the team. We know what is at stake. We know the importance of this game, and we are ready to take it head on and get a result that we need.
Thank you. And second question for Coach Yorke. Do you have a message for the Trinbagonian fans as the team prepares for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I've always, from the moment I've taken the job, it's been really positive. There's been an uptick in expectation throughout the nation. The support has been obviously unprecedented, and I want that to continue. I've always stated to my players and to the country to support this new era of players in defeat as well as in winning football matches as well. So, despite the result against America, there is no reason for the country not to be hopeful going into this game and being optimistic that we can turn things around, because in sport, you get stronger not just by winning but also by defeat as well. And certainly this will be a good test for my players, one that I'm sure that the players are up for, and it will be most helpful if the fans and the people behind us supporting like they have shown since I've taken the job.
Do we have a further question? Go ahead.
Yeah. Tony Lee, I-95. Mr. Yorke, this has been your first major outing as coach. How difficult or how challenging has it been for you as a head coach in a major championship tournament?
Well, I think like every other coach, when you take on this role and you realize, when you look back, certainly from the Unity Cup, we've been on the road for the last 3 weeks as a team. It's quite a big demand for these players. They haven't been in this environment where, high performance environment where we expect them to train at a high level. In between that, traveling from various countries to countries and then enter into a major tournament. So he can't take his toll, and it has been challenging for my players as well as us as a backroom staff. But we're managing it well, and it's an experience that we will gain going forward. The players will grow with the experience that they're experiencing, the demands of football, what it takes to be a top player, and the demands. So all these things are educational for my players. But as I said, we have a chance to turn things around tomorrow, and it will be a very good test for us. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Go ahead, at the back.
Coach, back here. Luis Ortiz with KHOU, CBS Houston. You talk about, your team responding. Just how important is it to perform in this tournament, try to win it, and just as you start thinking ahead to qualifying to a World Cup, which is now expanded to 48 teams and gives you guys a chance to hopefully qualify?
Yeah, well, there's a lot there to ponder, isn't it? I mean, immediately we have a game against Haiti tomorrow, which is important for us, and that gives us an opportunity to try and come out of this group to advance into the quarterfinal stage. So really and truly, the message will be one step at a time. We know what the end goal is, obviously with the World Cup qualifiers starting in September, but immediately in front of us, we got Haiti in front of us, and we need to not take care of business, but we certainly need a result if we were to try and advance into the next stages. So a lot is happening in such a short space of time, but I do insist from my players, so let's just focus on 80 tomorrow, because that is the immediate what we need to certainly give us a chance of qualifying or getting through to the next round. Certainly we got Saudi to come as well in the last game of this group stage. So there's a lot going on there. So I would say to my players, and I have said to the players, let's just make sure and concentrate on this game.
Okay, thank you, Coach. So we now switch to the virtual forum. Jassi Mary, go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, all. Jassi Marik of Guardian Media Limited. Afternoon, Coach. Afternoon, Levi. Coach, so far in your tenure, it's been quite clear what you've tried to achieve in terms of imparting your philosophy on this team, attacking with the ball, without the ball, etc. However, the game against the USA would be, with the exception of the Ghana game, would be the most exposed you've been defensively. Are there any second thoughts there? There are some questions as to whether you might be a little bit understaffed in certain areas across the back line. Your thoughts on that and how you plan to address it in these next two games?
Yeah, interesting. I think it's an area that we kind of suffer in those central areas in defense. I think it's clear to everyone that we haven't got the numbers. We only have 4 defenders, which we probably need a bit more, and we're having to rotate those players, or we try to play a system that could accommodate the players to give us a good base to build on. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out the way we thought against America, but I'm sure and I'm confident with the players. It's a learning curve for some of these players. They've never been in these circumstances or situation. So I kind of sympathize with them a little bit. You know, high expectations, certainly, coming off a good period of time for Trinidad and Tobago football. As you mentioned, the Unity Cup, we wasn't there with our full strength team, but there were players in there that were given opportunity to show what they can, try to produce, to play their way into the team. So there are various things that is happening there within the whole pyramid of Trinidad and Tobago football. It's my job to figure it out and to get the best players for the national team. And right now, we are in a bit of a situation where it comes to defenders. So we're fully aware of that. We're not blind to it. We know there are areas that we need to improve. And we already start the process in trying to address that situation. So, yeah, as I said, there's a lot of work. I've always said there's a lot of work. There's work in progress. And I'm sure by the time the World Cup qualifiers, you'll find that, you know, that this team will then be ready and prepared for the battle ahead, because that is the end goal. So let me remind the media, when I first taken this job, I was assigned to 3 assignments. The first was to, overcome the Cuba game, which then makes us qualify for the Gold Cup. And then, of course, beating St. Kitts Nevis gets us to the latter stage of the World Cup qualifier. And on the back of that, my last assignment is to qualify for Trinidad and Tobago for the World Cup. So out of 3, I've already done 2, and I've got the major one ahead of me. So, there are going to be some bumps in the road, guys, and you just have to be a little bit patient with us. But we'll assure the public that when it comes to the World Cup qualifier, we'll be ready and prepared to go.
All right, we continue with the virtual forum. Andrew, go ahead with your question. Yes, Andre, can you go ahead?
Hey, everyone. You all hear me okay?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so a quick question. Usually people talk about tactics and the usual questions. That's just something in the football arena. But oftentimes people don't look at the psychological aspect. As you rightfully said, there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. There's a challenge there. What was the reaction from a psychological standpoint? People don't often talk about that aspect with coaching at the high level. The reaction from the team and your approach to that, because they are young players and senior players, and coming off a tough result. What was the psychological approach for preparing the team to move forward?
Yeah, well, first to begin with, I mean, after a bad result, you always deflated, and quite rightly so. My players were deflated. We all were. It was a really bad night for everyone. It revolves around Trinidad and Tobago football. But the reality that you need to dust yourself down. You need to let the dust settle. We managed to do that. We dust ourselves down, give the guys a day off to let them recuperate, let them have a little time for themselves. And then, of course, address the situation going forward. We all had bad days at the office. It was just one of those days for us. It's been a good journey to this point, but now we need to refocus. And that's the psychological part of that you mentioned and the mental part of it.